But I'd like to now look at network policies and profiles. So, as many organisations now use networks to enable employees to access data, in some cases staff members may be located in different parts of the world, and that's occurring more and more these days, where companies operate in different parts of the world, and staff collaborate quite easily through those networks. To enable employees to gain access to some files but restrict them from others, a network administrator will establish a series of network policies and profiles. Simple illustration of this is at school. When you go to your U drive, you can access your folder, but you can't access anybody else's. And you can't access the staff area either, because you don't have permission. So our network administrators have set up a policy that says students can access these files but not these. Staff can access these files and yet they can't access some others. Okay? This is a basic step in making it harder for unauthorised users to access material they're not allowed to see. Typically, a user will be required to enter a username and password to log on to the network system. They're then matched against the various resources they have permission to access. So the access then is governed by the company's network access policy. Staff from certain departments may only have access to files directly related to their job, whereas managers and system support personnel may have access to most, if not all, files. One of the policies companies have, and I know the Education Department is very strict on this, is that users must change their passwords on a regular basis. I know in the Education Department we have to change our password at least every 12 weeks. And the last 8, they can't be the same password as any of the last 8 passwords that we've used. So it does mean that, you know, we can't just keep using the same password over and over again. We have to change passwords every time, and it keeps a record of those. In many cases, users, such as I've explained, will be forced to change their password regularly and can cause problems, however, as users typically think up 12 new passwords each year. Yep, that's right. Now, firewalls, what are they? They're another type of network protection used to restrict access by outsiders to a network. These also protect confidential information such as payroll and personal records from employees not authorised to access it. A firewall is based on a combination of hardware and or software that will only allow unauthorised network traffic to pass through the gate. They are common security measures, especially as most organisations now operate some kind of network or are connected to the internet. Now, in the movie Warriors of the Internet, which I've shown you, in one place in that video it described how it only allowed packets with the address through port 80 or port 25. Port 80 is the internet and port 25 is the email. Anything else trying to get in through another port is denied access. Okay, so that's what a firewall does. It just denies access to people that try to get in through your system any other way than what's allowed. Another type of way in which to secure your device is through antivirus software. We've looked at this in chapter 1, and antivirus software is used to prevent computer virus infections, and as the software runs, it detects the presence of viruses as the computer boots up, and when an executable file is run, when documents are accessed or when files are copied or opened. Antivirus programs will also detect viruses in files downloaded from the internet. It's very important that we have very good virus protection, because the identifying traces of viruses have to be updated in your virus software quite regularly, because hackers are continually inventing new and very, very nasty viruses. One of the more nasty viruses that occur is ransomware, where through an email, you click on an email and open a file, you'll download a program which will encrypt all of the files on your computer, and you get a message that says unless you pay us like $500 in the next 3 days, you will never be able to access your files again. And the encryption's quite strong, so you can't break it. If you pay the money, they'll send you the key so you can unlock your files. So, I mean, these days we have to be very, very vigilant. If you don't know who sent you the email, certainly don't open it. Get rid of it. Yeah, you have to be extremely careful. I've received emails which I thought were from PayPal, and when I looked at the URL, it's not PayPal at all, it's something else. So I just delete that email. I've had emails that try to get into my bank account by pretending to be my bank. And when you, again, look carefully at the email, particularly at the URL and the content of the message, and what it's asking you to do, your bank will never ask you to give out your password or do anything stupid. You just delete it straight away. Don't even open it. Alright, so that's enough from me now. I think you can go ahead and do the first lot of assessment tasks that I've set up for you, and we'll see how you go on those, and then you can watch the next part of this video on the next part of the chapter, which is going to cover security procedures, and I'll list those off in the next video. Okay.